Hello, I'm Anthony David Hobbs, and this is going to be my review of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So here's what the original poster looked like way back in 1983, yeah. Okay, I'll start right at the beginning. When I was about 8 years old, I remember seeing this video in like a video store, Videos for Hire, and I had no idea what a Jedi was. How could I not know that? Well, think about it. You haven't seen the Star Wars films. You don't know, which one it is. Technically, I had seen the first one, Star Wars, but I guess I wasn't paying attention when they said the word Jedi, so I'd forgotten that word. Yeah. In other words, I just made a guess what Jedi meant. I thought Return of the Jedi was clearly some sort of outer space adventure. Maybe a Jedi is a scary monster that comes to eat people. Yes, the scary space monster. Yes, Return of the Jedi. Return of the scary space monster. Well, how wrong can you be? Yeah. Anyway, Return of the Jedi. Afterwards, I saw the Star Wars films when I was very little. Then I saw the first two again. So then I knew and understood what the Force was and what the Jedi were. So it made sense. Return of the Jedi, yes, it's all about Luke Skywalker's comeback to confront Darth Vader, yeah. And, oh yes, Admiral Akbar says it's a trap, yeah. That's his most famous catchphrase. But didn't Princess Leia say it in the previous film? Yeah, well, when he says it's a trap, it sums up what's going on, The enemy knew we were coming, they're one step ahead, then they've got their whole fleet ready to attack us, yeah. Anyway, okay, so Return of the Jedi is my favourite of the Star Wars films, yeah. It was hard for me to choose my favourite because the original trilogy are so good. At one point it was Empire, another time it was the first one, A New Hope. But then after a while I thought, no, I like Return of the Jedi best. Yeah, I mean, each to their own. I think the reason why is because it ties up any loose ends. Any unanswered questions are in this one here, yeah. Will the Empire ever be defeated? Is Darth Vader really Luke's father? Is Han Solo and Princess Leia going to fall in love properly? Was it just a fling that happened before? It's all these unanswered questions are here, yeah. And what does Jabba the Hutt look like? We didn't know back in the 80s because there was no special edition you couldn't see. Well, technically, you can see what he looks like on the front cover of this poster. Yeah, but okay, you know what I mean. Nobody had seen Jabba the Hutt in motion, yeah. And here we have Jabba the Hutt. And yes, this one has an arm missing, there's no throne, but this is the one I had as a child, yeah, so he's special, yeah. And yes, Jedi mind tricks don't work on him, he's very clever, yes, he has all these trapdoors to make his enemies fall in. He has a monster Rancor to feed people to. Oh yes, and the bit when the Rancor Keeper's very sad. In the film it doesn't specify that's the Rancor Keeper, I only knew that because of the toy, yeah, so the person that's very upset is the one that's meant to look after the Rancor. That's why he's sad. Anyway, in other words, Jabba the Hutt, yes, the animatronic puppet they used was very impressive. But more than that, he's a good character in himself. He's very clever, conniving. He is a formidable enemy, yeah. And I think one of the reasons I like Return of the Jedi the best is we see what we've seen before, only on a bigger scale. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt's palace, that reminds me of the Cantina in A New Hope, only loads more aliens, yeah, bigger scale. The AT-AT Walker, the battle in the snow on Hoth, that was really cool, but I think I preferred the Scout Walkers because they're faster and more agile, yes. And we see a bigger army on the ground fighting another army, so yeah, everything's on a bigger and better scale, yeah. The Death Star battle, yes, that reminds me of the Battle of Yavin. Only again, we have way more spaceships this time, and lots more Star Destroyers, and goody spaceships the size of Star Destroyers. So yes, we see a lot more than what we saw before. So Return of the Jedi is quintessential. Nothing is missed out. Everything's there. Okay, a little bit of nitpicking now. Some Star Wars fans, they dislike Return of the Jedi because they say there's some repetition. Yeah, they're copying ideas from the first Star Wars film. There's a Death Star, we've seen that before. We're on the planet Tatooine, again, we've done that before. We have two good guys in Jabba's palace, disguised as baddies, good guys in disguise. We've seen that before in the first one. But maybe it's on purpose. Maybe it's supposed to be copying something from the first one. Like the wheels come full circle, so to speak. We finish what we've started. Maybe it's symbolic like that. And the Death Star, it is half complete to make it look a bit different from the original one. and instead of planets, it destroys massive goody spaceships. So yeah, there's something a bit different for it to do. Yeah, and okay, I suppose I have to mention Boba Fett, who had a very undignified death. A lot of Star Wars fans didn't like that, the way his rocket pack was hit by accident, and he blunders in and bashes it. It's like a comedic death almost, tripping over things and falling into the Sarlacc pit, yeah. But when I was a child, yes, it was a bit of a silly death, but I thought better that than no Boba Fett at all. Because think about it, there's nothing for him to do on the Endor moon, and he has no business being in Death Star 2, so the only place that it would make sense for him to be would be Jabba's palace, yeah. We see him use some of his gadgets, where we didn't see him use any gadgets in Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, better that than no Boba Fett at all. Maybe he could have been killed in a better way. But the thing is, Jabba the Hutt, yeah, he wants to feed the good guys to the Sarlacc. And, of course, then Luke Skywalker gets his lightsaber and all chaos ensues, a big fight, a big battle. A lot of bad guys fall in the mouth of the Sarlacc. Yes, they're dead. But the ones that are eaten by the Sarlacc, they're generic baddies. Baddies we don't recognise. A load of faceless villains. Yeah, for a more dramatic effect, you need a villain that we know who it is. It just wouldn't work if all the baddies eaten by the Sarlacc were people we didn't know. So that would make sense for Boba Fett to fall in the Sarlacc pit. Jabba the Hutt, you could say he has a much more dignified death, because a much more dramatic way to die, not accident prone, no. Princess Leia strangles him when there's a distraction with that big chain thing. Yes, a very over the top, but yes, very dramatic death. Princess Leia strangles him. What's the point? What's the point of strangling him? She knows that once she escapes, the desert sail barge thing is going to be blown to bits, and Jabba the Hutt blown in it. So what was the point of killing him? Yeah. Well, I guess just to make a more memorable death, yeah. Okay, and then afterwards, oh yeah, people always make fun of the Ewoks, saying that they're very silly and annoying and too cute. But I haven't heard any Star Wars films complain about Salacious Crumb. He's incredibly annoying, yeah, but, okay, for whatever reason, he gets a free pass, yeah, okay. Oh yes, and although there's been a number of Star Wars films since Return of the Jedi, it was supposed to be the last ever one. I mean, the Endor moon, it's called Endor because it's a pun on the word end. Endor, yes, finished, yeah. Okay, and I suppose I like that Luke Skywalker has come a long way. He is now a fully trained Jedi Knight, or very nearly fully trained. He's much more confident and focused. Yes, he's not a amateur, and he's not a whiny learner that gets frustrated about not learning things quick enough. No. He's more he's more like a fully grown man, yeah. Han Solo is more appreciative of his friends. He's matured a lot more, yeah. So yes, the characters grow, they've come a long way, both physically and emotionally, yeah. Oh yeah, and I suppose I have to get this off my chest. Han Solo is frozen in carbonite, right? And his friends that have come to rescue him, disguised as bad guys and stuff. Anyway, the point is, C-3PO and R2-D2 said, we've got a message from our master, and they said, and Luke Skywalker, the hologram of him, says, I seek an audience with Jabba the Hutt to bargain for Solo's life, I'll give you something of great value if you let him go, we can work something out, And of course, Jabba the Hutt says, there will be no bargain. I will not give up my favourite trophy, yes. I have no intention of reviving Han Solo. So he has no intention of letting Han Solo free of the carbonite. Why doesn't he kill him then? Why doesn't he just kill him then? If he has no intention of waking him up from the hibernation, why doesn't he just kill him and then stuff him and then like a trophy, yeah. Plot convenience, that's why. To give the good guys a chance to rescue him, that's why, yes. But yes, he was a popular character, we had to get him back, so yes, all this palaver at Jabba's palace was necessary, yeah. Okay, then of course afterwards Luke Skywalker goes to see Yoda. And I personally, even though I'd seen Empire Strikes Back, I didn't want to believe Darth Vader was Luke's father. I thought it was a lie to make him join the Sith. Well, Luke thinks, well, Yoda never lies. He always says it how it is. So I'm going to go and ask him. And Yoda says, your father he is. So now he knows. He's very upset and goes, I've got a bone to pick with Obi-Wan. Or I would have a bone to pick with him if Ghosts had any bones. But yes, I want to know, why? Why didn't you tell me that Darth Vader was my father? And Obi-Wan worms his way around it by saying, well, your father used to be a good man, then he turned evil. So what I told you was true in a way. Anything else I need to know? Well, I'll tell you at the right time. No, don't tell me at the right time. Tell me now. Is there anything else important I need to know? According to the prequel trilogy, Jedi are never allowed to marry and have children. Oh, that's terrible. Wait a minute. Yoda said the Force runs strong in my family. How can the Force run strong in anybody's family if nobody's allowed to have kids? I haven't got any relatives. How can it run in anyone's family? Yes, well, anything else I need to know? So Obi-Wan tells him, says, well, yes, Princess Leia is your sister. You knew that all along and you weren't going to tell me. Well, actually, Obi-Wan does have an excuse for not telling him, because originally Princess Leia was not supposed to be Luke's sister at all. No, the original idea was, because Yoda says there is another, it was supposed to be a totally different character called Nella that he's told about, and he's going to start searching for her but can't find her, and then he finds her in a forthcoming trilogy. But then George Lucas changed his mind and said, no, this is going to be the last one. There aren't going to be any more Star Wars films, so we'll just say it's Princess Leia. And maybe he also he changes his mind a lot, George Lucas, yes. Maybe the other reason he changed his mind was because, well, Darth Vader, that was a big reveal in Empire Strikes Back, that he is Luke Skywalker's father. His father is someone that you knew all along. Wow, what a twist. So in the same way, his long-lost sister is someone else that he knew all along. Oh, wow, what a twist. So I guess he thought, play it safe, do the same idea again, yeah. Anyway, then afterwards we see the rebel meeting. They've got to destroy the Death Star because the Emperor himself is on board the Death Star. Kill the Emperor and this whole thing is over. The Galactic Empire will be destroyed once and for all, yeah. And then, okay, I suppose I have to mention that I learned something about the Sith. Oh yeah, at no point do they ever say the word Sith in any of the original films. That's a bit silly. They say join the dark side, not join the Sith, yeah. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, the actor that plays Darth Vader always calls him Orbi-Wan. Now, maybe I can understand making that mistake in the first one, because nobody knows who Obi-Wan is, I haven't heard that name before. But he makes the same mistake in the second one and the third one. Now, it's a cool one-liner, but it doesn't quite make sense. Obi-Wan has taught you well. Who's Obi-Wan? I don't know who that is. Don't you mean Obi-Wan? Yeah, so that could have been done a bit better. Anyway, the Sith, there's always a master and an apprentice. There can never be more than 2 Sith at a time. That's sort of like the rule in the original trilogy. Okay, so basically, the Emperor, he wants Luke Skywalker to kill Darth Vader so that he can have a new apprentice, because there can't be more than 2 at a time. Darth Vader wants Luke to kill the Emperor, then he becomes Emperor and Luke will become his apprentice. So in other words, Darth Vader and the Emperor are the best of friends, but at the same time the worst of enemies. Yes, it is common practice to replace a Sith by killing him. Yes, yes, very grim, very brutal, yeah. But there is just one thing that doesn't quite make sense. If that's the case, if he wants Luke to kill the Emperor, why does he put his lightsaber in the way when Luke is about to kill him? That doesn't quite make sense, not clearly specified. And something else, how about this? Why doesn't Luke Skywalker kill the Emperor, right, with his green lightsaber, and then after that fight Darth Vader, chop his hand off so he's beaten him? He's killed the Emperor and beaten Darth Vader in a fight, and then Darth Vader could say, right, now I'm the Emperor and you're my apprentice. And Luke would say, no, I'm the Emperor, because I've beaten you. That's the way it works. I've beaten you in a fight, therefore better than you. Therefore, you are my apprentice, I'm the master now, and that makes me the new Emperor. Yes, that's the rules, that's the way it works. Well, Luke, what's your first order now that you're the Emperor? Well, I'm going to order the Empire to stop fighting the rebels. I'm going to tell them all to pull out. I'm going to order my friends on the Endor moon to be freed. Yes, and I'm going to order you to liberate all the planets all over the galaxy that you've taken over. So yes, I'm going to... Yes, Luke could do that, but no, instead he chooses something very different. In Empire Strikes Back, when he has just found out Darth Vader is his father, and he plummets the emptiness below to say, I would rather die than join the dark side. Well, that's a noble gesture, but not very practical. You want to fight bad guys, right? How can you fight them if you're dead? You can't do that. What he should have done was get captured and then get free afterwards, like what Princess Leia did in the first Star Wars film. Anyway, the point is, he's beaten Darth Vader in a fight. What does he do? He throws his weapon away and, like, I would rather die than become a bad guy. What? That doesn't make any sense at all. After all that hard work, all that learning he's done, he's still like a silly amateur. What What kind of brilliant procedure is that? Yes, it doesn't make sense. Why doesn't he just fight for his right and everything? But no. That's his plan, just surrender. Because he's so sure that Darth Vader will rescue him. Well, that's crazy. After beating him in a fight, then you're so helpless. And something else. Luke Skywalker, he doesn't know Darth Vader. He doesn't know him, does he? Maybe your father, but you don't know him. You're trusting your life with a man you barely know. Well, there we are. And something else. Darth Vader does the right thing, rescues his son, and then becomes a ghost of the good guys. Oh, so that's it. After all those millions of people he's killed in his life, he just gets off scot-free. Just forgive and forget, just like that. That made sense as a child, but as a grown-up I think, no, that's silly. He killed the Emperor, that's a good thing, saved the life of his son. But no, you're going to have to do a lot more than that to make up for all the trouble you've caused. You've got to do a lot more than just kill the Emperor if you want total redemption, yeah. And, oh, the speed bikes on Endor, by the way, they're really cool, yeah. I love the way we have really cool spaceships and really cool ground vehicles as well. Okay, why is it there's a lot of fans that hate the Ewoks? Well, I'm going to defend them a bit. Some say they're too cute, but they're not that cute, really. They are savages, like cannibals. They want to eat the good guys at the beginning, but when they're fooled into thinking C-3PO is a god, then they... Well, at first, C-3PO says, let my people go, or I'll use my magic. They don't believe he has magic. Wait a minute, they believe that he's a god, but they don't believe he can use magic. Well, he's not much of a god then, is he? If he doesn't have any magic, but... Anyway, they come through, they join the right side, yeah, and help Luke and his friend. But some say it's silly, teddy bears beating stormtroopers in a battle. But if you think about it, they don't really beat the stormtroopers. No, they just cause a distraction while the good guys fight them with laser guns, and Chewbacca uses a scout walker to fight the stormtroopers. So when you really think about it, they don't really beat them. They just sort of cause a distraction, and then so the proper weapons can fight the bad guys, yeah. It depends how you look at it, you know. Well, the Ewoks are a lot more annoying in the Ewok TV movies, yeah. But when the logs that they use trip up a scout walker, that's quite... Okay, that makes logical sense, yeah. Sometimes, on rare occasions, primitives can beat advanced technology, yeah. Okay, well, all that's left to say, really, is, in spite of its flaws, Return of the Jedi is still my favourite film. The whole film... It's the thing we've all been waiting for, yes, an epic finale, yeah. So that's really cool, yeah. So, each to their own, whichever your favourite one is, but it leaves a good feeling of satisfaction at the end, yeah. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.